Right then, welcome back to the channel. Here's 5 things that we learned, mostly in the Dortmund game, but I might wander off into the woods a little bit here and talk about maybe what it means going forward, encompassing the whole American tour. I think where we're going to start off, though, is number 1 with Onana. And I think his distribution has been otherworldly. There's a couple of times he unleashed Rashford, and it was literally like having a Pirlo in the team, or a Scholesy in the team. It was brilliant to see. And even though I think Marcus isn't quite looking as sharp as he could do, for whatever reason that is, I think he's going to get assists. Marcus's acceleration, Nana's distribution is going to catch teams that look to try and press us unaware, and Marcus is going to end up running in behind and scoring some goals. We're going to see our goalkeeper get assists this season, and I think it'll be a few. I think it'll be 3 or 4. But it's the speed and the range and the just the different sorts of passes that he's able to play is fucking impressive. Like, there is a genuine broad range to his abilities. Like, it's great to see. He's got every sort of pass in the locker. He looks like he's got the makings of a leader. Yeah, we saw him absolutely laying into Harry Maguire. And there's a couple of other players that we've seen do that early on in their Manchester United careers, namely Bruno when he first joined, and also Martinez when he first joined as well. And the character of those isn't in doubt. I think Onana could be another one of those. I feel like it's going to be down to the players in front of him to match his level. I think Onana is setting a level. The guy is so fucking confident. There is an aura about him. If ever there was a player made for Manchester United, it could be this guy. Genuinely. And there will be mistakes in him. There'll be clangers because he takes so much risk. And when you take risks like that, sometimes you get caught out. But he will more than make up with it with every other thing that he does, for sure. Number 2. I thought Pellistri had a nice, bright first half. He was a really willing and able outlet for the team. Really, really bright. Probably the most dangerous player. And Sancho was pretty good as well, but I think Pellistri had a little bit of an X factor going on about him. Very direct, very brave. He's had his fair share of really good cameos, and I wonder, can he take the step now to being like, can I have a start? Can I get some regular minutes where it's literally not just these cameos? Is he going to be going out on loan? Does he deserve a chance? I think, I don't know. I think he's a really interesting sort of conundrum for the staff at the club at the moment. We're not really blessed with a lot of depth in the wide areas. We've got a couple of very exciting prospects in Pellistri and Ahmad. Can they force their way into the team? Can they make the ones that think they've got the shirt on lockdown second guess themselves? It's going to be really interesting to see. Second team's better than the first team. Certainly on that showing against Dortmund, at least, anyway. The first half, by the second string, put on a bit of a clinic at times. In terms of the patterns, the movement ahead and off the ball, the second team looked the more complete. There was a period where we looked like we were playing with essentially 3 10s. Eriksen, Donny van der Beek, and Sancho linking up phenomenally well, using the wide areas really, really well. We saw Delo getting stuff down the right-hand side. We saw Brandon Williams getting stuff down the left-hand side. We saw confidence. I thought Howson looked pretty good. Now, he obviously wasn't doing what the gaffer wanted because he bollocked them. And he also did mention the individualism from the first team in his post-match press conference as well. But the build-up was a lot smoother. The only thing that really leveled up anything with the so-called first team was the distribution of Onana, which has got, I think Tom's distribution's fine, but the distribution of Onana was he's got an X factor to it, hasn't it? He's just got he's unlocked some extra level of skills that no one else knows they're allowed to use. First team left a lot to be desired. Now, I don't know if the first team have been doing extras. If they knew they were going to get 30 minutes only, did they do an hour of pre-exhausting them this morning or something? Those are things that do happen. I don't know. This isn't me saying, hey, that's what happened and therefore excuse. I'm not saying that. I think they were poor. But sometimes in pre-season, if they knew they were going to play the second string and the first team was only going to get 30 minutes, did they make them do something this morning? Don't know the answer to that.
Right, I'm going to stop this video a little bit because our sponsor Surfshark has partnered with us to bring you this video. Surfshark is a virtual private network that safeguards your online identity by encrypting all the information exchanged between your device and the internet. That means your personal data is protected from cyber criminals and large companies. Additionally, Surfshark can change your IP address, giving you the ability to appear as if you are in a different location around the world. Like this, for instance. Here are some of the ways that Surfshark can benefit you. Encryption of your online data and protection of your personal information when you use free public Wi-Fi, which can be a prime target for hackers. You can mask your IP address to keep your city, your country, your download history private. Surfshark does not monitor, track, or store your online activities, and it can change your virtual location to access content that might not be available in your region, such as iPlayer, or, like I had to do this week, check my lottery numbers. Can't log in if you're not in England. Well, I use Surfshark and I managed to log in just fine. I won £2.40, thanks for asking. It can protect your online activities when streaming movies or playing games or anything potentially dangerous that you're visiting, because they've got the clean web feature, which is sick. And this feature blocks ads, it blocks malware, it blocks phishing attempts. It means that you can stay safe when you're streaming online. And you've got the ability to use one account on unlimited devices, including phones and laptops. And if you're interested in trying Surfshark, then use the code Howson, 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 to receive exclusive offer of 3 months extra for free. If you follow the link in the description and take advantage of the offer, you're going to get a 30-day money-back guarantee. There is absolutely no risk to trying it. If you're going away somewhere and you want to be able to still access content that's geo-locked because it's all the way back home, you need something like Surfshark. I literally use it. Go check it out.
Number 4, I think, Rashford misfiring. He's not looked at the races on pre-season. I don't know if necessarily he's looked poor or if he's looked average, but he's not looked good. He hasn't looked sharp. He is probably the most important attacking player at the football club as well, regardless of whether Højlund signs, which obviously looks like it's imminent. If Marcus misfires, Manchester United won't succeed this season. We are heavily, heavily reliant on him. But I think it's also worth noting the rest of the players that have been in the England squad are also doing the same. Mason Mount has been underwhelming. Luke Shaw has been underwhelming. Is it related? Is their performances all related? Is that extra bit of time off that they got because of that fucking bullshit England international that we had affecting anything? I'm not sure. And finally, a bit of a summary of the tour. We were fortunate enough to get quite close to the team and observe what they were doing. I've not seen any of the training sessions. A little bit disappointed in that, actually, because I thought I was going to get a chance to see some training. But from what I can see, the team looks like there's a togetherness about them, and there seems like a vibe and an energy within the club that is a very positive one. I think Erik ten Hag is comfortably not just the manager, but the boss of this team. I think he's got just untouchable respect within the team. I think he's being given the tools to mould this to his will. And I quite like the fact that, one, we got the business done relatively early, but two, that we've got the business done early and we haven't signed superstars. We've seemingly gone and got the right stuff. And I would rather us get the right stuff than the expensive stuff. Now, of course, I'm going to get giddy if we sign some absolute megastar. And I do believe if we'd have signed Harry Kane instead of Højlund, I think people might be going, oh, got to watch out for United this year. I think Højlund's going to make the team better. He might not score the same amount of goals Harry Kane would have scored. In fact, he probably won't score the same amount of goals that Harry Kane would have scored if he'd have been brought in. But you don't know if he can get to that level. Because Harry Kane wasn't Harry Kane at this age. It took him a minute. And it takes a lot of forwards a minute. If you'd have judged Didier Drogba on what he did when he was 20, you wouldn't have been signing him. So I think there's a lot of prospect and a lot of promise in Højlund. And I think that the attributes that he's got have the potential. Because that's all anything is. All is potential at the moment. And there is the potential that Højlund can really make this team tick. And that's what excites me about United. Because right now, there is a very real chance that this United side will beat anybody, right? On any given day, this United team could go and beat anyone, right? Agree? Disagree? Whatever, right? But can they do it back-to-back, week in, week out, 2-3 times a week, every single week? We've shown that we can do a lot of very consistent things, and we've shown that we've been very, very, very good at home, and that we can beat basically anyone. But the Anfield game and the Etihad game are still in my mind. And we have to get over that if we're going to be a team that can go and compete for titles. And it might be too soon in the second season, or we might just be coming to the boil right. We just need to be in the position that if Manchester City balls this up, because it's theirs to lose, if they balls this up, can we be in a position to capitalise? Because you don't need to beat City. You don't. You could win every other game and get fucking rogered by City twice and still win the league. You just have to outpoint them. And admittedly, that's tough. But I think we're better than Arsenal. And Arsenal ran them very, very close last year. Nervously close. I think we were all fucking flapping at some point in that, didn't we? So let's see. A couple more games to go and the real thing starts. It's another season. Enjoy it. See you in a bit.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.